how many people of the Muslim Islamic community, how many of them view things the way you do? I've heard you say about this before. It's not a big percentage of people. But for you, a lot of people call you the Imam of Peace. I think your handle is even Imam of Peace. You may even call yourself Imam of Peace, right? And there's always a confusion between this is the religion of peace, but we saw what happened on 9/11. This is religion of peace, but we saw what happened with Hamas and Israel. This is the religion of peace, but we saw what happened in Australia just recently. This is the religion of peace, but to me, you seem pretty peaceful. To me, you give me the vibes that you actually are trying to pursue peace. However, of the 1.9 billion, give or take close to 2 billion, how many of them think the way you do?
Right. So I am a follower of my religion. And to break it down in such a simple way, I don't think it would be fair for the religion itself or for its adherents, or for countries like the UAE, Bahrain, who are working very hard to establish peace and harmony, or their populations. So the distinction we need to make is between Islam and Islamism. Islam as a religion and Islamism as a contemporary political ideology that uses Islam to gain power. And Islamists are not a monolith. So there are Islamists who believe in participating in democratic principles. You'll find them running for Congress. Mm-hmm. And you have those who will simply engage in jihad, and jihad can be categorized in many, many ways. And I mean violent jihad. I don't mean the struggle of the self against one's desires. Mm-hmm. No, I mean going into a society and changing it, going into a community and hijacking their values, and then preventing the host community from enjoying those values, free speech, freedom of religion, expression, and so on. So I would advise that we need to separate, we need to draw a fine line between the Muslim Brotherhood that was in the West first and the Muslims who came afterwards, who just want to lead a normal life. So there is no percentage that I can give you, because we're not talking about the same issue. We're talking about a group of people who have hijacked a religion. And those people need to be understood, because in Arabic we say "khotab saf al-istikan," which means you're stirring beside the pot or beside the cup. We need to stir in the cup in order to get the flavor of the sugar we put in it. So that's exactly what the extremists want to do. The extremist doesn't tell you he's an extremist. Mm-hmm. And the Islamist doesn't tell you he's an Islamist. They tell you we're Muslim. Osama bin Laden, for example, many people do not know he was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Al-Qaeda came from the Muslim Brotherhood. ISIS came from the Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas is the paramilitary wing of the Muslim Brotherhood. This is not Sunni Islam. This is an organization with its own charter. That's the distinction we need to make. Otherwise, we will be discussing an issue that is very distant from the disease itself.
Okay, so how different do you view the world? So let's put them in a different community, because I think it's very important to do this. You have those who are the extremist, okay, which you're kind of talking about. Then you have those who came afterwards, not the first Muslim Brotherhood that came. The other ones that just came, they're like, look, I just want to live in America. I just want to live in Australia. I just want to live my life and have a regular life. Then you have those who are like you know, claiming, presenting peace as the basis of the way you want to live. Okay. Give me when you're talking to Tommy Robinson, you said, I think there's around 5 million people like me, like you. Then he said, and really, really like me, it's only about 500,000 people that are like me. You said this to Tommy, I think, 7 or 8 years ago when you guys did an interview. Okay. But today, if you're able to break it down, I think the extremist is this, the people that are just living their regular life is this, and this, or maybe even if you want to add anything else to it as well. How would you break down those sects?
Yeah, I think I was very general when speaking to Tommy in that interview, and I believe I understood the question to be within Australia. So how many like you within Australia? And I still believe those numbers are accurate. I think the majority of Muslims are not only supportive of peace, they lead a peaceful lifestyle. And they do not want to see the Muslim Brotherhood or Bin Laden or ISIS or Hamas as their representatives. And the evidence of that, I would point to, is the reaction to October 7. How many did we see flood the streets in support of Hamas? How many did we see? I could safely say across the American continent, around about 150,000 would have flooded the streets between Toronto and Montreal and New York. And that continues, but it's the same community. I don't think we saw 3 million flood the streets, Muslims supporting Hamas. That did not happen. And that turns into a policy question. Until when is the White House and parliaments around the world going to allow the Muslim Brotherhood to be the face of the Muslim community? Because that's exactly what it is. In Obama's time, CARE, which congratulations to Florida and to Texas, I think a very, very important move, designating CARE as a terrorist entity.
Which they're being sued right now, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
If there's anything we could do as experts on Islam and on counterterrorism to support the state of Florida against CARE and Texas against CARE, please reach out. I'll say this. I don't know whether they'll win or lose. It does not matter. The point is we cannot allow them to operate freely. And I do understand there is a lack of Muslim expertise pushing back against CARE because they're intimidated by them. They're like a mafia. That's exactly what they are. They're a Muslim mafia. And so congratulations to that. That is a very important distinction because CARE cannot walk into certain mosques. Please don't think CARE has the ability to walk into any mosque in America. No, they'll be kicked out. They have their own mosques. They have their own centers it's like a ghetto. So they're very isolated. But Obama brought to them and made them the face of the Muslim community in America, the Muslim population in America.
Why do you say Obama?
Because that's when they declared victory. They became advisors to the White House. If a president of the United States of America hosts a Ramadan iftar where Muslims break their fast, and then he brings a member of the Muslim Brotherhood community to initiate the call to prayer, that is a symbolic victory for the Muslim Brotherhood worldwide. That's like infiltration 95% for them. That's how they see it. And they simply go back and tell their members, it's not just about symbolism, it's more about motivation. Because the Muslim Brotherhood can go 10 months with no success. And all of a sudden Ramadan comes and they're in the White House. So it somewhat validates everything that they have been doing before they came into the White House. And it will, by extension, validate everything they do afterwards.
Okay, so fair, which is celebration. Totally get it. That's a big deal. I also think Mamdani winning New York City is also a big victory because they're taking over the financial capital of the world. That's a massive validation when Mamdani won.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.